Hello and welcome back to the Stronghold. I'm the Magi and welcome to Midweek Magic, where I want you to grow your collection by winning 2 free rare or better ICRs each and every week. This week's Midweek Magic kicks off a Brawl event to, introduce the Modern Horizons 3 set to Arena and, Magic in general as of this coming Friday. For that, we wanted to use a card that was available to Modern Horizons while maintaining a low wildcard count because, hey, let's be honest, most of us have opened less than 6 packs at this point. So we didn't want to go hog wild here, and I think we found the perfect solution, and we've got a couple of other non-Modern Horizons 3 style decks to help you bridge this event and get those all-important rare or better ICRs with what is probably already in your collection. But before we get into all of that, this whole Midweek Magic thing has become a bit of a tradition here at the Stronghold, and it all started with our crack team of researchers discovering that we were the only YouTube channel making consistent, proactive, and timely Midweek Magic coverage. And here we are years later, and it appears that we're still the only ones out there doing it for the budget community. So be sure to subscribe to the Planeswalker Stronghold so that we can be here for you every chance we get. Now, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, right. So right off the bat, I want you guys to know I am absolutely not playing around this week. This Brawl deck, if you've been following the plan for as little as 6 months, you can do this for 1 rare wildcard, 1 uncommon wildcard. Everything else is either already in your collection or pretty much optional. And while we're talking frankly, I have a little bit of a confession. I have a weakness for making niche, cheap glass cannon style decks that, either work or they blow up in your face. And, that's just a thing that I have come to accept about myself. And today's main deck is one of those decks. And the nice thing about this style of deck is win or lose, it happens really fast, which is perfect for Midweek Magic because if you win, great, you got your ICR. If you lose, you can just queue right back up and you finish the whole event pretty darn quickly. And I mean this deck goes fast, like Ricky Bobby drinking an X-Lax Cafe Mocha. Alright, so let's start this deck tech by taking a look at our commander, which is basically the hinge pin. Laelia, the Blade Reforged 3-mana 2/2 with haste, a legendary creature, Spirit Warrior. When she attacks, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. Whenever one or more cards are put into exile from your library or your graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on Leia. So haste can attack the turn it comes down, but we generally won't be doing that. What we want to do is move a lot of cards into exile, at least temporarily, and then pump our commander up dramatically. And the way we're going to do that is through Cascade. And the ultimate card that we want to get to, the one that makes us win, is Atali's Favor. Of course, everybody's familiar with this 3-mana aura. When it enters the battlefield, you discover 3. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1, and most importantly, has trample. So the way this works is Atali's Favor comes down on our commander, gives it +1/+1 and trample. Then it discovers 3, ultimately taking every card in your deck into exile because there's nothing for Discover 3 to find. So your commander ends up being like a 97/97 swinging with trample, and you just win. Now, of course, Atali's Favor is 1 card out of 100, so we need some other ways to get to it. In the 4-drop slot, we've got Throes of Chaos, giving you a Cascade. At the 5-drop slot, we've got Daring Discovery, giving you a Discover 4, which will then find Throws of Chaos, and then that will find a Tali's Favor. Same with Geological Appraiser, Discover 3 can only find a Tali's Favor. Now, in this last slot here, we've got Trumpeting Carnosaur because, of course, it is a Discover 5. But honestly, 6 mana is a little late to be doing this. A lot of Brawl decks are going to have run you over by that time. But if you do have it, it certainly is an option. There is one additional card from Modern Horizons 3 that I couldn't show in the deck tech because, well, it's not live in Arena today when I'm recording it. That, of course, is Meteoric Mace, another 6-drop, in this case an equipment. But what we're really after is that Cascade effect. Very much like the Tyrannosaur, if you don't have this card and you don't want to use the wild card to craft it, a 6-drop is not really what we're after and not necessarily going to change the mathematics of the deck all that much. So by all means, feel free to skip this one as well. Then, of course, in the mana base, we've got Hidden Volcano, another 5 mana Discover that will find Throws of Chaos, which will then find a Tali's Favor. And to finish out the mana base, you just need a bunch of mountains of your choice. So all of this truly begs the question, can this actually work? And since you can mull down to a single Cascade card in your hand and no lands, because you'll very consistently draw lands with this deck, and granted, this is a gross oversimplification of the math, but yeah, you have a really good shot of being able to consistently mull into a Cascade card in your hand and making this go off. And hey, just because I can hear the doubters out there, I've got some footage for you of the deck actually doing its thing. And not to worry, if this isn't your thing, I've got a couple other very cheap Brawl deck ideas for you coming up in just a moment. The things. Here we go. And this is not terrible. I think we keep it right off the bat. 4 isn't really where you want to be on this, but it's not terrible. Wow, they are on some kind of crazy combo mulligan extravaganza. So we're just going to play 2 mountains, and then on turn 3 we're going to hard cast our commander. Hopefully. Alright, there. No stick at all. So we should be able to win the game off this play. Well, that wasn't exactly the way I expected to win the game, but there we go. obviously we need a Cascade card. Wow. Odds. So there we go. We will keepy the keepy. We can throw back all the mountains we want because we're probably going to just draw a mountain. Again, we're going to hold off on casting our commander until turn 4 to give it limited exposure. Sure. Bobble it up, baby. Slap the commander down. I'm not going to attack because there is a risk of not hitting a mountain and then slamming into the crow and dying. Oh, that's no good. Didn't love that. Now if we can just untap with Leia. Looks like we're gonna get there. Man, I hope they don't block. I mean, it's only 114 trample. 115, excuse me. They've got to be going, what the actual fudgy nuggets just happened? They blocked. Oh no. So that went almost ideally. I think it definitely shows off what the deck can do here, but... So yeah, it turns out the deck can work, but as promised, if this isn't your thing, we've got some other ideas for you. You can always jump over to our Aetherhub page, and we've got a ton of decks over there for Historic Brawl, some of which are already set up for artisans, others could be easily modified, or just taking the concept and rebuilding if need be. 54 in total as of the time of recording, but wait, there's more. I feel like most everybody that's been around for Arena, really almost any length of time, is pretty familiar with the Rat Colony deck or decks. In this case, for just 4 common wild cards, you can put as many copies of Rat Colony in your Brawl deck as you want. So really all you need is 4 common wild cards, some sort of commander, which, well, as long as it has black and the word legendary on it, you're probably in pretty good shape. You need about 40 lands, probably all basic swamps, unless you did something fancy with your commander. And then about 20 or so interactive pieces, just whatever you have existing within your collection will do fine. I'm not saying this or any of the other decks that we're talking about today are fantastic decks that will have exceptional win rates, but it will get you through today's event and probably be asset positive. netting you more ICRs than you actually spent in wildcards. And now you can build a deck using Slime Against Humanity using very much the same idea. Of course, anything that would give additional +1/+1 counters, etc., would be a great choice for Commander, but any old green Commander that you happen to have in your collection will certainly do. Add in about 40 copies of Slime Against Humanity, another 40 or so lands, probably, again, mono green basic forests, and about 20 whatever interactive pieces you have in your collection. Obviously, fight spells do really well with Slime Against Humanity, and slimes already have trample, so you don't have to worry about that. Maybe a little card draw, whatever the case may be. And lo and behold, you've got yourself a super cheap deck for maybe as little as 0 wildcards. And hey, just in case you didn't catch all that, Matt would like you to know that the deck list that we discussed in this video is going to have a link down in the doobly-doo to take you over to Aetherhub, along with a link to any other alternative lists that you might wish to consider. He only asks that you give it a little thumbs up when you're over there checking out the deck list. And I plan on live playing this event on Wednesday at 11 a.m. over on my Twitch channel, so definitely stop in and check it out. Because the Stronghold is so much more than just a YouTube channel, and you can find links to all of our other social media outlets in our profile. Because at the end of the day, we're all budget players. And as a community, we're stronger together. So like, comment, subscribe, follow, do all those things to show a little love. It's appreciated more than you know.